Are you enjoying the 45-47 show yet? Are there enough psyops to keep you entertained? Are you not entertained? I'm sure you are. All of us are experiencing obviously what you're experiencing, which is the confusion. What is really going on? I don't know. I can't trust anything. Well, that's all by design. You're watching psyop upon counter psyop, recounter psyop, and then another psyop on top of it just to, get some more viral moments going. So what's happening? I wanted to take you guys back and show you the moment that the 45-47 operation began. Now, yesterday, Trump posted that he is in his third term. Now, we know about the dash, 45-47. A dash means what it means. No, it's not a hyphen. It's a dash. And he has said many times, this is my third term. Well, yesterday he posted it again. And it was in parentheses. And it was capitalized. Third term. He's telling us again. Okay, I'm going to show you the moment the 45-47 operation became active. Now, was it planned long before this? Absolutely. This was the moment, January 20th, 2017, the President of the United States activates the United States military to do what? Take down the globalist cabal. And that is what you have been watching ever since that moment. But I want to show it to you in case you haven't seen it, or as a reminder. Let's take a look.
Today's ceremony, however, has very special meaning, because today we are not merely transferring power from one administration to another or from one party to another, but we are transferring power from Washington, D.C. and giving it back to you, the people. For too long, a small group in our nation's capital has reaped the rewards of government.
Then they file right back out. Now, what did you just watch? You watched a dozen military JAG and military intelligence officers line up behind the President of the United States for a very specific declaration. Listen to it again. Listen to his words. We are here to take power from Washington, D.C. and return it to you, the people. The second he says that, guess what? They all file out. Why? The proclamation was given, the order was given, and they've been doing the work ever since. It's getting good.
And happy Sunday, guys. I am back. Okay, the audio's working. I always check the audio before I start my podcast. So again, I'm out of Facebook jail, guys, so I can do live straight from Facebook, which gives me a lot more audience, obviously, because for some reason StreamYard, when I do a StreamYard video, it doesn't get to the amount of people that it gets when I do straight lives. But the only problem is I can't show clips or videos or pictures when I do lives on Facebook. But I am going to do them here and there just for the fact that if I have something to rant off, I'm not going to wait and save it for my Facebook StreamYard lives. I'm just going to do lives here and there just to get it out there, because obviously it stretches to more people, and we definitely need people like myself to speak out when it's time. So anyway, welcome to Sunday night, guys. It is beautiful down here in Calgary. For the people in New Brunswick, I know it's pretty crappy down there and raining, which is perfect. God bless for that crappy parade that they were having for the Sikhs or Silks or whatever the hell you call them in New Brunswick and in hometown of Shediac. Not really my hometown, my mother's hometown. So I hope it stormed down there and tornadoes blew all those people, into the water, which I'm sure our water doesn't need them because we need our water clean as much as it is for the people that, watch me from New Brunswick. You'll know what I'm talking about. Anyway, welcome Sunday night. We got an hour of lots of videos, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't been up to date on doing a little, organization. So these videos are going to be all over the place just for the fact, it's for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be swamped with my midterms that just finished and my finals coming up in the next 2 weeks. So it's pretty much, a lot of studying to do. It's complete chaos when it comes to trying to learn about the human body, what paramedics go through. It's insane in the membrane, I guess you could say. It's a lot of information for a 3-month course, which should be a year, but they compacted it into 3 months, which is crazy. And being 29 years old, it's hard for this brain to, capture all this and do lives at the same time and try to keep up. Anyway, let's do the shout outs to our Freedom Family, our American Patriots, our Canadian Patriots, our Common Sensors, our Once Upon a Time Purebloods, our Purebloods, and let's get on with the podcast. So first shout out is going out to Elizabeth from out west in Vancouver, if I'm not mistaken. Another shout out going to Miss Anna, who's a cousin of mine. Who else here? Let's go to Gilles Bourgeois, Juanita, how you doing? Patty Voltor, Gerald, Roland, Vincent, brother from a different mother. Sean, also brother from a different mother from Oshawa. How you doing, Miss Nancy, Annette, Mike Boom, all the way from Riverview, Miss Genevieve from the Rock, Muria Dag. Nancy says, just found out that New York's favorite mayor is in critical condition. Is that true? I hope so, but is that true? I hope someone, did someone use him as a target practice? I don't know if anyone can confirm what Nancy just said. I pray to God that's, what happened, or, either he was used for target practice or he had a severe heart attack. Not that I wish anything bad upon Muslim dictators, but I kind of do. Anyway, brother from a different mother, how you doing, Martin? Happy 29th birthday, guys. I'm always going to be 29. My birthday's tomorrow, and I'm getting happy birthdays. And just keep in mind, I'm 29. I'll always stay 29, no matter what. It's hard to celebrate birthdays. Everyone always asks me why I don't celebrate birthdays, because how do you celebrate a year getting older and older to pretty close of when, won't be able to walk, drool all over myself, wearing diapers. I can't celebrate that stuff, guys. So I always stay 29, and every day is a birthday, I guess you could say. So anyway, happy birthday to me for tomorrow. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of happy birthdays. So thanks for all the people that will be wishing me birthday for tomorrow. Shout out going to Miss Denise Duadon, Miss Judy Gold from Nanaimo, Miss Tanya, Matt Sawyer. How you doing, Matty? Dan Marsh, Tony Bernier. How you doing, Tony? Miss Eagles from Ontario. Nicholas, who got banned, by the way. He's in Facebook jail. Bad. My new Liberal toy is dialed in. It's only recent. Nick went out and bought himself a crossbow. Be careful, Nick, because you'll have the RCMP come into your place too, trying to think that you're there, that you bought the crossbow to, assassinate a libtard. So how you doing, May? Miss Mary Ann Poole means he never left. Exactly, Mary, and I'm going to get to that in a second. And how you doing, Jim Morrison from out in Leduc, Dan Sear, Lori Wilson from Thunder Bay. I hated playing against Thunder Bay back in the junior days when I played for North Bay in the Centennials. Thunder Bay was always scary. If you ever watched that movie with Patrick Swayze, Youngblood, and Rob Lowe, Watch the movie. It's called Youngblood, and they go and play against Thunder Bay. It's the same concept when I used to play in the early 90s. It was very scary. What else? Miss Therese, Miss Carolyn Voltor, Danny Hernandez. Who else here? Brenda Pryor, John Daly from Pennsylvania, USA. Mr. Joel Dag, brother from a different mother. What's this? Afternoon from Saskatchewan, just a skip away from you. That's true. You're just one province away from me. How you doing, Dan Marsh? Elizabeth, Northern BC. Okay, Ron, I did a live today and I said you couldn't pay me $2 million to live in Manitoba, but I didn't want to say your name because I didn't want to insult you, Ron, but you couldn't pay me $2 million a year to live in the Winnipeg or any place in Manitoba. Sorry, buddy. Oh, Mayor Rudy. Is that the mayor? Okay, I didn't know that. Again, guys, because I've been studying all day. So Mayor Rudy Jalan, I can't pronounce his last name. I never could. So he's in the hospital. Well, that sucks. That really sucks. Jim says, yeah, I had 2 birthday parties, so that makes me 26. There you go, bud. How you doing, Linda Sankal? I think you pronounce it Sankal from Red Deer. What else? Who else? Gloria K. How you doing, Gloria? And Joanna Bickerstaff. All right, guys, first things first. As you've seen from my intro video, Donald Trump's not losing his mind. He's not losing his mind. Usually I start off with Canadian stuff. It's boring. And then I get to the American stuff. But we'll play a bunch of videos. We'll start off with the Canadian stuff. And then I'm going to get to when Donald Trump, he's not losing his shit. So when he says Canada, 51st state, Carney, Governor Trudeau, there's a reason behind that, guys. I know some people don't believe me when I say this, but I mean, there's trolling and then there's the truth, and there's nobody in their right mind is going to tell me, especially a liberal voter, that when Donald Trump says my 3rd term, you better take it for granted that he's not losing his mind. Just the hat that says 45 hyphen 47 means 45, 46, 47. All right. I don't know how many times people are just so dumb. And when you look at me and you tell me stuff like, well, Jeff, it was Joe Biden that was the president from 2020 to whatever, 2025 or 2024 or whatever they think. But then you have Donald Trump going out and telling people that he serves his 3rd term, or the hat that says 45 hyphen to 47. I mean, take it for granted that he's not losing his mind. He's giving you hints and people still don't get it, or people just think he's losing his mind. So when people like an ex-viewer who I deleted, you'll probably won't see one viewer in particular, and I won't mention her name, but she sent me a message from my last live and kind of insulted me. I think most of you guys will know by now, and said that, other podcasters are right and I'm wrong. And there's an EBS coming and we're going to be shut down for 10 days and the Nazira Jazeera and stuff like that. Listen, I just keep negative away. That's the best thing. Like, guys, I don't care if it's your mom, dad, uncle, aunt, brother, sister, kids. When it comes to negativity and stupidity and ignorance, you just got to push it away from you. All right. You got to just stick around people that have common sense, because if you don't, it's going to drain you. It's going to drain you physically. It's going to drain you mentally. And all of a sudden, you're going to be on antidepressants and not knowing what day it is. And you're going to have so much hatred in your heart and in your mind that you're not going to be able to focus on your own reality. And that's why I had to push that person away, because I just couldn't. I mean, listen to other podcasters is fine, but don't bring the podcasters that you listen to into my podcast, because it's called Common Sense for a reason. And the reason is, if you think they're going to shut down the world for 10 days and show us clips of kids getting sacrificed and adrenochrome and sex trafficking and murders and stuff like that, that would be literally the most insane thing I've ever heard, besides us getting Nazira Jazeera of $5 million. I mean, that everyone's entitled. Yes, I know what Nazira Jazeera. I'm the first one that reported Nazira Jazeera. But it's not what everybody believes and thinks it's going to be. Yes, we were traded when we were our birth certificates, and they're all capitalized and the straw man. Yes, I know. I was the first to ever bring that out before any other podcaster. But what you don't understand, we're not going to get millions of dollars because no one's going to want to work. Yes, there's different ways on how they're going to give us the Nazera Jazera, which is called the basic income. We're going to get so much money every month, but you have to work to make sure you get this money. You understand? There's ways that they're going to roll it out, but one of the biggest things that you got to understand is there can't be any wars happening in the world in order for Nazera Jazera to come out. That's number one. That's why the deep state keep on starting wars, right? Because they don't want this to be out there. They're trying to stop this because this is the wealth that's coming from what they accumulated over many decades. Okay. So in order for that to happen, there can't be any wars. In order to claim it, every immigrant has to go back to their country. That's why they keep shipping. Get it? That's why they keep shipping hundreds of thousands of immigrants, if not millions, into different parts of the countries, especially Canada, especially the US, especially Europe, especially Australia, New Zealand, all these Commonwealth. They do it on purpose because it causes chaos, destabilizes all the economies, and it literally puts Nazera Jazera on hold. You understand? That's why they keep on doing this by design, and other reasons too. But that's why Nazera Jazera is not coming out anytime soon. Understand? That's just common sense. I don't care what any other podcaster talks about, because not every one of them knows what they're doing, and not every one of them uses that thing called common sense. All right. So we'll start off with the boring stuff, which is Canada. Then we'll get into the American stuff. So let's start off with Mario up north. He's got a couple of videos I want to share. Let's get this over with, and then we'll get into the important stuff, guys.
Guys, this is absolutely massive and breaking news. This just came out from Juno News a few hours ago, where the Canadian Armed Forces training platoon had 83% non-citizens devolved into ethnic fighting. And it gets worse, watch this. So this is a confidential report that was leaked, and it has shown a massive surge in foreign, now permanent resident enrollment. This is in our Canadian Armed Forces. One French language platoon had over 80% of non-citizens, and they were racked by an inability to communicate fluently. There was a lack of respect towards female Canadian Armed Force service members, and infighting between those from Cameroon and those from the Ivory Coast. Almost half of them failed. And there's also allegations of racial discrimination in multiple directions from candidates against staff between candidates of opposing ethnic blocs. And the report literally said that command had a problem training them. There was challenges because they lacked the respect towards women who were their peers and their superiors. And for many candidates, this is the first time they had ever lived with members of a different sex. And for some, and I'm just quoting here, it is also the first.
So yeah, in case you guys didn't know about our military, well, they are literally putting all these immigrants that even haven't been here for 3 months, guys. Mark my word when I say that, 3 months. So what they're doing is they're filling up our military with immigrants, because as you could see what Mario said, there's a big whistleblower that came out and said that most of these immigrants can't even pass the basic part of the requirements of getting into the military. And the whole part of getting these immigrants into the military is because the dumber they are, and the background of another country, is easier for the army or the military to program these people to go against the Canadian people. That's all it's doing, because that's the whole problem of what they're trying to do. They're trying to build up the military of foreigners to go against Canadian citizens. So when they try to take our guns away, they will have these immigrants in our streets in army uniforms to try to seize our guns. And these people will be programmed because they're not real Canadians. So they will be using these people, is what I'm trying to say. Is it going to work out? No, because I don't care what kind of uniform you are, but I can guarantee most Canadian people with guns will use these people as target practice when it comes down to it. There will be no shame. It'll be chaos. It will be ethnic cleansing, I guess you could call it. So it doesn't matter. But Carney, he's so arrogant and dumb that he actually thinks that Canadian people will not stand up to our treasonous army. That's not even, I mean, the Canadian military is the biggest joke in the entire world. Always has, always will be. I don't care what anyone says. Oh, I served the army back in 1990. You guys are a bunch of pin cushions. You guys were used only because a couple of reasons. For us to pay income tax. That's why you guys are out there playing army games. And number two, basically, you guys were government experiments, pincushion. So you guys all participated, and I love this term, in the armed dart Olympics. I love that terminology. Participated in the armed dart Olympics. That's pretty much exactly what the military and Canadian military have always been, and of course the United States. But I mean, specifically, we'll stay on the Canadian military. That's all you guys are, is a bunch of nobodies that cannot face the real world. So you join, the military because you don't know what you want to do in your life. So you think joining the military is the right thing to do, even though there's no wars. There's never been any wars. Every war that has started was always a religious war, right? Middle East, or a war by the United States before Donald Trump took office, all right? Always has, always will be. Donald Trump doesn't start wars, he finishes wars. The whole Iran thing, Donald Trump didn't start that war. That war's been started for 49 years. But he is definitely going to finish that war because enough is enough when it comes to the SAN regimen. I almost said another word, that it's time to completely demolish, completely wipe these radicals from the face of the earth. And, I mean, I don't care what anybody says, there's no debate. And if you actually think that United States could lose against Iran, like the CNN was saying, you would have to be, put it this way, I could grab 5,000 true alpha male Canadians, train them for 3 months, and go down and take over Iran. That's how positive that I know that we would take over Iran. I just need 5,000 alpha males. Nobody with green and blue hair, nobody that drinks or eats or drinks soybean milk and all that stuff. And that's how scary the Iranian regime would really be, to be honest with you. All right, so with that being said, as you guys know, that's what's happening to our military, and we're funding this. We're funding it. Let's not forget the tampons in the men's bathroom. I'm glad the Army fought for that. Yeah, exactly, Kathy. It's a huge joke. And yeah, you're right. They don't even speak English to begin with. But we're seeing that everywhere. We're seeing that in the police, RCMP, and they're all doing it, guys, because they're going to try to come after us. Nothing wrong about using target practice when it comes to it. I guarantee Canadians will be using target practice. They'll be doing a lot of Justin Borks if they try to take the guns from people. I know it for a fact. I know for a fact because I'm in a group of over 10,500 alpha males just waiting for the day. For me, I always tell them there's not going to be a day. As long as Donald Trump is still breathing, and then his kids that will take over, there's never going to be a day because he's cleaning house around the world. They'll try, but that's failed many, many times. Mark Carney's only in there to be exposed. He's exposing himself. He's exposing the globalists. He's exposing the Liberal Party for the, for the crap they really are. All right, let's do this other video that Mario shared because I like him. I like Mario for the fact that he does get a lot of. I don't know how this guy owns 12 businesses and does this on a part-time basis, but either way, we'll share this video.
Give me 1 second, watch this. Globe and Mail put out this article, and they said that the success... Give me 1 second, watch this. Globe and Mail put out this article, and they said that the success rate...
Let's see if they're going to let me play this, guys. Maybe they won't let me play this.
Give me 1 second, watch this. Globe and Mail put out this article, and they said that the success rate for basic training in Canadian military drops. But if you've been watching me for the last day or two, you would know that this isn't true, because the truth is this.
Juno News has received a stunning leaked Canadian Armed Forces document that reveals the complete dysfunction of military recruitment in Canada right now. Mark Carney may be touting the record-breaking recruitment levels of the Canadian Armed Forces like he did here.
Men of the military deserve or approaching their responsibilities is the big increase in recruitment that's happened, highest in 30 years. More to do, though. More to do in terms of the military, the equipment, the pay, and also the reserves as well.
Can you grow the reserves in the next year or so with the way the military's
This is a multi-year plan. We're dedicated to executing. I'm encouraged by what's happened over the course of the last year. Our ability, we said we'd get to 2% of GDP. We got to 2%. We've got the recruitment up. We've got things in place.
But what he isn't telling you, and what these exclusive documents reveal, is that the recruitment of non-citizens into the ranks has led to ethnic and cultural fighting between African nationals, a surge in suicide crisis center visits, candidates who can't speak English or French, and candidates who practically can't read.
And do you want to know what else is in that leaked internal memo that Juno News got their hands on? The fact that these folks cannot and do not respect female peers. They don't see them as their equal. They've never lived with them. That is a completely new and different concept to them. And the other thing that the Globe and Mail isn't fully telling you the truth on, half of them are failing. And they're also, what I believe, is being bribed into entering the army through permanent residency. They have access to our social services, to our healthcare, and half of them are failing. That seems like a really high number to have foreigners. Some platoons, up to 83% of them, are not from Canada. I've had whistleblowers reach out to me, telling me that they've been in the camps in Quebec, and Canadians are nowhere to be found. Why do you think Mark Carney was hesitating when he was asked about the reserves and if this will meet the goals? Well, because he knows he's recruiting foreigners. That's part of our plan. How can we possibly have a domestic army full of foreigners? Is that not potentially ripe for foreign interference?
So yeah, as Mario just said, and I've been saying for the longest time, but sometimes he likes to make it politically correct, is the fact that Mark Carney is bringing these foreigners on purpose to literally tell them that you will get your Canadian citizenship when you do this training and whatever else he promises these foreigners. And they're going to do it because they're from third world countries and they're very poor. So they're going to listen to Mark Carney because obviously they're the biggest pieces of crap that any human being could possibly, put in a toilet bowl. They really are. Every liberal voter in my common sense world are the biggest treasonous people in the entire world, lying, scheming, will destroy the country without a doubt in their mind, and they don't care because they are being paid. Basically, we all know that money is the root of all evil. So basically, they're selling out our country for money. That's what they're doing. So it's evilness. So when I think of a politician, especially a liberal politician, I think of evil. Maybe it's just me, but I think everyone should be thinking of that. All right, so that will be it. That's completely it for the Canadian news because, like I said, it's just, it is what it is for Canadian news. It's just mind-boggling, and it's just a drain. It's pretty much a history repeat. So whatever you're seeing in Canada, it's the same concept that was done in United States. How do I compare it? Well, Biden opened up the borders, flooded with millions and millions, I think like 40, 50 million potential voters, even though Donald Trump was behind it to show everybody. There was a shadow government, obviously. Same concept with Canada, shadow government, opening up the borders, millions of voters for the Liberal Party. It's the same concept. All of a sudden, what's going to happen? Trump is going to come in, take over, put Pierre Poilievre on a string, and make sure that everyone is being exposed for the amount of corruption they really are. Exactly what happened in the States. We might have to go through this 3-4 years with Carney to literally devastate the Canadian economy on purpose, just to expose of what the shadow government was really about. You know what I mean? So we're gonna feel the pinch. We really are going to feel it, because even though the gas is still $1.90 or almost $2, and they're blaming it on the Iran war, but the Iran war has been finished. The Iran war has been finished the first 7 or 10 days. All right, but they're just using that excuse to, to cause propaganda against the United States. But there's no war in Iran. That's been finished a long time ago. But I love seeing the outcome of it. All right, so let's get to the whole Donald Trump thing. If you guys don't believe of what's being said, again, this is all over the place, so bear with me as I go through this. All right, guys, just to let you know. So here's Donald Trump of how can you hate a guy that says this?
That at some point in the not too distant future, you won't even have income tax to pay because the money we're taking in is so great, it's so enormous that you're not going to have income tax to pay.
Can you imagine when a president or a governor or a prime minister will say, in the near future, you're not even going to have income tax to pay? Do you understand that? How do you go against that? All right. I'll tell you how. It's demons. It's demons. Democrats. How do you argue against that? This is why I tell everybody that the world would be a better place without liberals and without Democrats. It really would. If I was president and if I was governor prime minister, every person that would speak up against myself as doing the Canadian thing, like people begging for immigration or people doing anything against myself to try to better the economy, I would literally put a camp in Winnipeg, sorry, Ron, and it'd be FEMA camps specifically for these people, no shit of a lie, and I would call them reprogramming camps, kind of like what they do in China, reprogramming camps for these people, because there is no place in society for that much ignorance and stupidity and hatred than a liberal voter and a Democrat. That's what I would do for prime minister. So don't vote me for prime minister unless you want that stuff done. And of course, every immigrant would be sent back ASAP, like the very first day. There'd be all kinds of our military actually doing a job without immigrant army, that is, going from door to door and grabbing all the Sings and the R-Steeps and all that, and they'd be flying out on military Airbuses back to their shithole that they call India, Africa, and what other Punjab country that they came from. That's what I would do as a president. All right, here's a couple more things with Donald Trump that I'm going to try to bring out. Let's do this one. I don't know if this one's about Donald Trump, but we'll play it anyway.
Do you ever wonder why, if you decide to delay or decline vaccine?
We'll hold off on that one. I don't want to play that one. That was a whole thing with the doctors. We'll put it off to that one. But check this one. I like this one.
See, Trump don't give a fuck about your color. He ain't racist. Stupid is stupid. Get your motherfucking ass out the way. King and the queen, move. So I go sit down. Why that's me all motherfucking day? See, this is why I can't always be mad at my dog. Sometimes I don't agree with. But fuck that. Move.
you see how he went in front of, don't call her the queen. That's the only thing I don't. But you see, if you watch very closely, did you see the king? Well, the king, sorry. Actually, Prince Charles met the real king when he just jumped in front of Kamala, and you watched Prince Charles trying to put his hand up, and Donald Trump just ran in front of them and just like, fudge you guys. I mean, for the people that don't know, you better pay attention. I mean, because that is one of the most funniest, the funniest things, right? Francis goes, just watching the Montreal game update, 2-1 for Montreal. Good for Montreal. I'm not a Montreal fan, but it's nice to have one Canadian team in the playoffs, as much as I hate Montreal with a passion. So anyway, we'll just keep it to that. So I hate to say go Montreal, but anyway, I mean, how can you not love Trump? But you know what? You had so much Democrats shitting on him. How can he be so disrespectful to the Queen? Well, sorry, but she's not the Queen. For one thing, she's she was put there for a reason. She's not even female to begin with. But anyway, here's Donald Trump. Also, this is the 14-second clip.
I do a lot of things that are impossible to do, like becoming president 3 times. Like winning 3 races. Anyway, so we have the lowest prices anyway.
Like winning 3 races. I wonder what he meant by that. I wonder, right? You guys see it yet? I mean, the people that follow me, of course, you guys know. I mean, but it's when this gets out and it's on my Facebook wall, and sometimes you might have the odd liberal that will kind of catch it until he watches the first 5 minutes, goes, oh, this guy loves Trump. We definitely don't want to watch him, right? Or he hates Mark Carney. Oh, see you later. He's racist and prejudiced and doesn't want foreigners. Yeah, so anyway, that is great. I mean, those are just, don't you see it? I mean, you would have to be a complete moron when Donald Trump comes out and says stuff like that, right? And that Joe Biden was executed back in 2020. Is he losing his mind, or is he just telling you guys that? All right. I think you guys should know, right? It's better not be 3 or 4 years. Judy goes, I'm 80 and I want to see the end of this before I bite the dust. Yeah, Judy, God bless you. I hope you do see it before anything, but you're just 80, do your exercising, do the walking, if you can't go to the gym, obviously you're 80, do the walk. Don't let the old bones and the blood all cramp up with the muscles. If you can walk back and forth from, bits and pieces, don't sit in front of the TV watching any kind of news, number one, or sit on your phone looking at the BS that's on your phone. Get up and walk. You're going to see the end of this movie, I promise you, because it's happening in front of your very own eyes, but behind the scenes, you don't even know how good it really is. But I know what you mean. I'm 29 and I want to see this. I want this movie to end like yesterday, but I know it will, even though it's definitely end. 2017 is when it really ended, I guess you could say. Check this out, because as soon as my son teaches me how to do reaction videos on TikTok, even though my 13-year-old, catch this, guys, look at this. I went on TikTok the other day because my son has a little TikToks, and once in a while I like watching his TikTok because it's him doing things at home. And I'm like, how come I can't find my son's TikTok? So I message him, I call him, I said, Boo, I said, what happened to your TikTok account? He goes, oh, Dad, they banned my TikTok account. It's like my 3rd account. And I was like father, like son. You know what I mean? I don't know what he could put on TikTok to have him banned. But yeah, it's like father, like son. So I'm like, you know what? You don't need TikTok. To be honest with you, the less social media you are on, the better it is. All right. So, but I got a kick out of it that my own son's banned from TikTok. And I mean, the kid's wide awake, but I'd rather him be banned on TikTok than having to waste any time. Andre, you don't believe I'm 29? Come on now. 29, but as soon as you add the clean fuel tax on me, the carbon tax, the PST, the GST, the income tax, all those taxes, because the only thing they don't tax in today's world is age. All right. I'll always stay 29. But if you put the tax from the liberal government, because they'll probably want to tax your age, and because believe it or not, mark my words, believe it or not, when we breathe, we're breathing out carbon. Understand? For the people that don't know that. So we breathe in nitrogen, it goes in our body, our blood takes it, our heart goes into our lung system, into our alveoli. Our alveoli exchanges, takes the nitrogen, puts it in our blood, goes through our body. But when we exhale carbon, for the people that don't know. So if we're exhaling carbon, then we are exhaling carbon dioxide. And this is the whole point of Mark Carney of with carbon capture. You understand? You know, like cows, they're trying to get rid of cows because cow farts are bad for carbon. So you understand? Do you see the carbon footprint there? So that's just a little paramedic explanation for you, for the people that don't know. Kathy says, I agree. People aren't awake by now. They never will be. That's why, Kathy, I don't care for anybody at this point. If they don't know, they don't know, and they will never know, right? That's the whole point of this. Let's check this 43-second video out because I know Ron's watching. You know, Ron from Winnipeg, he loves his videos. So let's go with this.
Do you ever wonder why, if you decide to
go again? I got to get rid of that. This one.
After all
Sorry,
this
guys.
time, the truth about cancer is finally coming out.
Oh, when you tell someone that a medicine for dogs cured your cancer, you better be ready for some skeptics. But Joe Tippin says it did save his life and others. And now even cancer researchers are open to the possibility it might be true.
My neck, my liver, my pancreas, my bladder, in my bones, it was everywhere.
2 years ago, Joe Tippin says he was told to go home, call hospice, and say his goodbyes. The doctors were unanimous. He was going to die of small cell lung cancer.
Once that kind of cancer goes that far afield, the odds of survival are less than 1%, and the median life expectancy is 3 months.
Tippin says he went from 220 pounds to 110, but that was January of 2017. Today, Tippins is very much alive, and what he credits for his survival has doctors scratching their heads and the rest of us raising eyebrows.
About half the people think I'm just crazy, and half the people want to know more and dig deeper.
Tippin says he got a tip, not from a pharmacist, but a veterinarian. And in his desperation, he turned from people medicine to dog medicine, specifically fenbendazole, or what you give a dog when it has worms.
Truth is stranger than fiction, you know.
Just 3 months later, Tippin says his cancer was gone.
I'm usually skeptical, and I was, and maybe still am, about this one. But there's an interesting background to this.
Cancer researchers like Stephen Prescott are skeptical, but they also are not dismissing this anti-parasitic's potential. He says Tippins is not the first person to potentially benefit, and maybe not the last.
Scientists at many credible places have done work on this for years.
But was it the dog dewormer, or was it something else? Tippins took the dog medicine with daily vitamin E supplements and CBD oil. He was also taking an experimental cancer-fighting drug. But Tippin says out of the 1,100 patients on that clinical trial, he was the only one cleared of cancer. Tippin says he was saved by the dog dewormer, and he plans to take it for the rest of his life.
Oh, my insurance company spent $1.2 million on me with traditional means before I switched to a $5 a week medicine that actually saved me.
Yeah, so the reason I brought that video out, guys, is because we do have a viewer who's watching as we speak now who just found out she is cancer-free, obviously, which I won't say names. And yeah, she's on ivermectin, she's on fenbendazole, she's on a binder and stuff like that. And I've been treating a lot of people in the past year. It's been over a year now that I've been treating people that are have cancer. Now let's keep in mind that if it's natural cancer, and I hate using the word natural cancer, it's easy to get rid of by using fenbendazole, ivermectin, stuff like that. But if you're injected with that mRNA, that's a huge different ballpark. It's hard with the ivermectin fenbendazole. So there's other things that I recommend and I get people to do along with the ivermectin fenbendazole, is because as soon as you compete in the in that arm dart competition, it's a whole different level. So I would say 90% of the people that message me, well, let's say 95%, have already taken the jab. So I try my best to get them on the Dr. McCullough, protocol, and pray to God that it works along with the ivermectin fenbendazole. So the reason why I'm sharing this video is because if you do know of someone, please get them to come to me, refer them to me so I can help them out, or give them, because there's a few protocols with the jab, without the jab, what kind of cancers, different cancers have different protocols. But I mean, if you have a loved one and they are, like this gentleman, have 3 to 6 months to live, which I can't even imagine how that feels. And the reason why I do this, guys, is for the fact that I lost a really good friend to colon cancer who used to be a viewer, Todd. And actually, we lost another viewer that was from the island. And one day I was wondering why she wasn't sending messages. And then I had a viewer message me and say, Jeff, the reason why she's not viewing no more is because she passed away. And that bothered me. That really bothered me, to the fact that I'm losing viewers to cancer on a monthly basis because either they were too ashamed to tell me they were vaccinated, where I could have helped them, and they just didn't want to speak out, I guess. But I can't imagine being in their shoes, sitting in front of a doctor saying you have cancer. It's something I hope I will never, ever have to sit down. But my best advice to everybody is, like Todd, who passed away not too long ago, is one thing that stuck to my mind is, if you have something wrong with you and your body's telling you something, listen to it. Don't wait. Make sure you go to the hospital and to the doctor, and please if you can't trust your doctor, get a second advice, because like I said, there's a lot of doctors out there that push for vaccinations. So make sure you don't get that kind of doctor pushing vaccines. So it's hard to trust your doctors. Trust me on that. When I say that, it's very hard. So, I mean, if you know anybody, get a hold of me. Don't trust all your doctors, especially if they push vaccinations, because if they push vaccinations, more likely they're going to push you the chemo. More likely they're going to push you to radiation. I just had a patient message me the other day that told me, and I'm trying to remember who. Actually, I won't mention the name, but they told me that they told their doctor that oncologist, that they were on ivermectin and fenbendazole, and their oncologist looked at them and said, "That's the best treatment that you're ever going to get. I can't prescribe it to you, but stay on it," is exactly what their doctor, and they couldn't believe me. They couldn't believe when their oncologist said that to them, without mentioning names. So they're starting to wake up, but obviously they can't say anything because they will lose their medical license. So we'll leave it to that. Check this out, guys. I thought this was pretty funny. This is Ilhan Omar. I don't even know how to pronounce her name, which I really don't care. But she's the one that's definitely going to get dunked for the amount of corruption and stealing millions of dollars in the United States. But this is a piece of shit that is in the Senate that doesn't even know about a little bit of American history. Check this out. You guys will laugh your ass off.
The last time the Alien Enemies Act was invoked, it was used to detain and deport German, Japanese, Italian immigrants during World War XI.
Welcome to the Quality Leering Center.
So she read that as World War II, but went to say World War XI. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I didn't know we had 11 world wars. Yeah, it's sad. This is what happens to the United States when you have immigrants in the Senate. This is what happens when you have immigrants at all in any kind of government position. I mean, you can't say anything different about that. I don't know what to tell you. So yeah, we'll just move on. We're not going to see too much of her in the future anyway, because the hammer's coming down on her. So it's just a matter of time. But I love this guy. This is 1 minute and 14 seconds. And this is the kind of determination and the kind of, I never push too many people when it comes to politics, unless you have common sense. But this person is one of the top 5 for politics that should be running a country. Check what he says.
You must have lost your mind. In Spain, they just legalized residence of 500,000 illegal aliens. In France, they throw grenades into hair salons in a broad daylight. In Germany, not a single day goes by without someone being murdered with a knife. In Sweden, for example, you have bomb attack every other day. I can continue, but you just don't care. Those are not real problems for the European left-wing politicians. No, you are going to solve the situation in Minnesota. You are seriously discussing here the rule of law in the United States and criticizing American government for deporting illegal aliens, for deporting criminals out of their territory in the same time when Western European cities are gradually turning into a war zones. We should do exactly the same. We should deport them from Europe and not legalize their stay. We should listen to them and not what you are proposing to all of us. Everybody can see now you are enemies of Europe. You hate our nations, and you want to destroy the future for our children. We should stop you. We should defeat you politically if we want to survive. Otherwise, it will be the end of Europe.
Yeah, this guy had another video of him, and he literally destroyed the whole climate change bullshit, and he told them, all the EU people, which again, if there was a bomb to ever hit a place, it would definitely, I would wish upon, it definitely hit when they have those EU summits. I don't even know where they have the summits. It's probably in Switzerland. But I would never wish a bomb to hit anything unless it had anything to do with the EU, with every politician from the EU in that summit at the same time. That's exactly what bombs should be used for, is for the corruption of the EU. And guess who's trying to get us in the EU? Of course, Mark Carney, of course, you know, for the liberals that don't know anything about the EU. Yeah, that's such a great deal to be part of the European Union for you libtards out there. So with that being said, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you, but I will show you this one video. It's exactly what the plans are for the Muslim people. And the reason why I'm going to bring this video up is because people still do not understand, especially you dumb Canadians, about what is happening in our country on purpose and what the Muslim Brotherhood are trying to do. But yeah, this is the plan. So don't say I know a few people, Muslim people, that are good people and they're here to assimilate. No, that's not true. I don't care what anybody says. They're all the same. And I'm going to put that number from 90% to 95% or higher when I say they all have the same plan. Check this out.
Clear that the Jews want to exterminate the European race. Richard Coudenhove Kalergi, who is the father of the European Union and who was funded by the Jewish bankers Rothschild and Warburg. Now, this man wrote a book called Praktischer Idealismus in 1925, in which he stated that the Jews are a master race and that the Jews can only assume the throne, rule over the world, by weakening the European race. And that the means to weakening the European race would be to dissolve all the European nations, destroy all their cultural heritage and their national traditions, and replace that with the European Union, and then to invite in Africans, Middle Easterners, and Asians to dilute the blood of Europeans through miscegenation to the point where they became a degenerate mixed race. And then at that point, these people would no longer have any sense of nationhood, and the ancient Jewish messianic prophecies of world rule out of Jerusalem would use maintaining their nationhood and their national status. It would fulfill the Jewish messianic prophecies that the Jews could then rule the world, and this was completely in line with what Nikolai had written in 1917 and has manifested itself recently with the invasion of immigrants from Africa, from the Middle East, and from Asia into Europe, America, and Australia. And they are deliberately setting about to genocide the white race and destroy all sense of nationhood and national heritage and national culture.
Does that sound familiar to you guys? I hope it does. I hope that sounds familiar, because that's exactly what's happening. I don't care for the Jewish people either. Trust me, they're just up there with the Muslim people. I do not care for the Jewish people too. I've always hated the Jews just as much as I hate the Muslim people. But that's what they're trying to do. The Jewish Khazarian mafia, I guess you could call them. There's no such thing as a good Jew out there. I don't care if you have Jewish neighbors. I mean, we're talking about the Jews that actually think that they're the people of God, I guess you could say. There's a different terminology for them, but I'll just put them all in the same group. So that's what you're seeing on a daily basis, of getting rid of the European culture by diluting, is the best word that they use, diluting these countries, European countries, Commonwealth, to Africans, which are the most disgusting people. I don't care, I don't care what you think or what you say. Very deranged people. They really are. Don't care what anyone has to say. The average Somalian has an IQ of 68, and that's the average. A mentally unstable, retarded person has an IQ of 70. That's a proven fact, by the way. An average Somalian has 68. So these people are easy to manipulate, easy to program, but really out to lunch when it comes to civilization. All right. So, and then you have the average Asian, East Indian, I guess you could say. Those people, the most corrupted people out there, the most filthiest people out there. When it comes to scamming, guys, I mean, just today, if you look at my last post on my wall, they just arrested 2 Asian people as we speak. Something like 90-something charges for mailbox theft. The mailbox that I'm at right now in my neighborhood, our mailbox is no longer there. I literally stole the mailbox, like the big mailbox with all the slots. They literally stole the whole mailbox system. This is what we get. Everything you can imagine when it comes to telephone scams, to scamming on the phone, scamming call centers, scamming at the gas stations, which if you follow me, you'll see scamming by just taking, if you give them change, they'll give you back, they'll hold back 5 to 10 cents, and you think that it's never by a mistake, guys. If you got 300 customers and you're jipping every customer 5 cents to a dime, it adds up when you're doing 300, 400 customers a day and times that by 30 or 25 days a month. It adds up. These people are not dumb. They're the biggest scammers. And then on top of that, they have them as security, as police. Now they're actually in RCMP. Every security position at the airports, they have these Punjabis as security. That is not common sense. That is done by design. You understand? And there's nothing good about them. And once you get them into management, and especially if you go to every college, and trust me on this, you go to every college that has human resource management courses. All right? I did it in Moncton just to check it out. Every course that has human resource management courses, go in there, check it out. I guarantee you'll see 95% of the students are all Indians. All right? Because once they're in, the company is see you later, alligator. They're only going to hire their race for a reason, just to let you know. So people ask me, as I did on my live today, how do we stop this? 3 ways. Don't support any company that have a majority of these immigrants. Never support any company owned by an immigrant. And three, the most important, stop selling your properties, stop selling your businesses, stop selling anything that you own to any immigrant. I don't care if they pay $5,000, $10,000 over the asking price. You are demolishing the Canadian economy when you put these people or sell these people your business. All right. You are, again, by money, the greed of all evil, are destroying our country by doing all these three things. When Canadians, real Canadians, stop doing these three things, these people will not flourish. They will go back. And if the government take away the welfare system, and they're going back to their countries, because obviously they wouldn't be able to survive without the welfare system. Just to let you know, someone's got to pay for the 4 to 6 kids because they're outbreeding us on purpose. All right. Anyway, guys, thank you for this live. Thank you for coming. The next live, just to let you know, the next live will be Wednesday, not Thursday. Wednesday night at 9 o'clock. The next live, Wednesday, not Thursday for this week. Thursday, I have other plans. So we're not, there won't be a live on Thursday. We're going to put it this Wednesday at 9 o'clock for the week. Just to let you guys know, I'll remind you if I don't get banned again on Facebook, because I've been commenting a lot today about the Sikh parade that they had in Shediac. I've been really throwing it out there. So I got to kind of watch what I say, because remember, I got banned for 7 days just for saying the word Paki. Can't say Paki no more. So I'm just going to call them carpet riders, carpet flyers, I guess. Anyway, I love you guys all. Like Don Cherry says, you people hold that line. I know you can't share my videos, because if you do, you'll be deemed racist by the libtards. But don't forget to throat punch your daily Liberal voter. You'll feel a lot better knowing that these people really deserve it in the first place, because they're destroying the country, just to let you know. And at this point, they're really insane people that don't deserve to be called Canadian at this point. So anyway, I love you guys all. Thank you for joining me once again. And thank you for the support that all of you guys do. And thank you to Dupree Towen for always supporting this channel, this podcast, because guys, it's expensive. It's $100 a month to do what I do. I don't get paid for this. I actually have to pay it out of my own pocket, which no podcaster does, believe it or not. Only I do. But thanks to Andre, he kind of helps with the cost. Because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be doing this for $100 a month, just to let you guys know. So anyway, I love you guys all. Take care, and we'll see you guys back Wednesday at 9 o'clock. Adios, amigos.
Miss out. Bringing you the real truth, exposed. The Canadian Don is digging deeper, asking what others won't, and broadcasting it uncensored. For real. Join the conversation live with facts you can see and voices you can trust. Subscribe today.